Hello students, welcome to JCE eConnect channel. Today let us study the anti-pattern document driven certification and accreditation. Today we'll study the document driven certification and accreditation. Some of the most flagrant anti-pattern involves the IT security industry itself. Assessment and authorization, it is denoted as A&A, formally called certification and accreditation. A&A, assessment and authorization, is called certification and accreditation. It has attracted much public criticism because it has attracted much public criticism because it has a reputation as a paper driven process. It has a reputation as a paper driven process that does not secure system for real treats. Now, A&A, which is assessment and authorization, is the process of assuring the information security of systems before they are deployed. A&A, which is assessment and authorization, it is the process of assuring the information security of systems before they are deployed. Now, certification is an assessment and testing phase that identifies and confirms the vulnerabilities. I'll repeat. A&A, which is assessment and authorization, it is a process of assuring the information security of systems before they are deployed. And what is certification then? Certification is an assessment and testing phase that identifies and confirms vulnerabilities. Now, accreditation is an executive approval process. What is accreditation? Accreditation is an executive approval process that accepts risks discovered during certification. It accepts the risk that are discovered during the certification. What is certification? It is a testing phase that identifies and confirms the vulnerabilities. And what is accreditation? Accreditation, it is an process that accepts the risks discovered during certification. Although A&A is assessment and authorization, is formalized in government organizations. A&A, assessment and authorization, is formalized in government organizations. It is also widely practiced in industry. It is also widely practiced in industry. Now next is anti-pattern is policy driven. We have studied now document driven certification and accreditation. What is driven certification? Is testing phase that identifies and confirms the vulnerabilities. What is accreditation? It is the process that accepts the risks discovered during certification. Now next we'll move on to policy driven security certification that do not address the threats. The standard, it should be threats. I have written threats, it should be threats. The policy driven security certification that do not address the threats. It is not threats, it is threats. The standard professional security certification is the Certified Information System Security Professional. The professional security certification is the CISSP. Professional security certification is CISSP. What is CISSP? It is Certified Information system security professional. CISSP is required by US Department of Defense. CISSP, which is Certified Information System Security Professional, it is required by the US Department of Defense for both management and technical security workers and demanded in the job market. The standard professional security certification is CISSP. CISSP means Certified Information System Security Professional. It is required by US Department of Defense for both management and technical security workers and demanded in the job market. The presumed goal of this certification, which is policy-driven security certification, the policy-driven security certification presumed goal of this is to produce articulate security professionals. Policy-driven security certification, the presumed goal is to produce articulate security professionals who can communicate effectively with upper management. But what does that have to do with combating emerging cyber threats? This paradox was addressed by the Center for Strategic and International Studies, which released a Presidential Commission report. The report was a human capital crisis in cybersecurity. It was in July 2010. I'll repeat. The policy-driven security certification presumed goal is to produce the security professionals. The goal of security certification, policy-driven security certification, is to produce the security professionals. They can communicate effectively with their upper management. Then, what does that have to do with the emerging cyber threats? This paradox was addressed by the Center for Strategic and International Studies, CSIS, which released a report in July 2010 named A Human Capital Crisis in Cybersecurity. Now, next topic is refactored solution, reputational, behavioral, and entropy-based malware detection. An emerging field of research called entropy malware detection looks for mathematical similarity to know the malware signature. The research called entropy malware detection, it looks for mathematical similarity to know the malware signature. Hash functions that are used by most antivirus programs detects subtle differences between a file and its known hash. Minor changes to a file, such as modification of strings or encodings, can cause a hash to fail. A hash match to fail. The minor changes to a file, such as encoding or modification of strings, it can cause a hash match to fail. Entropy-based matching, it uses the mathematical functions that measures similarity rather than differences. Entropy-based matching uses the mathematical functions that measures the similarities rather than differences. If a suspicious file nearly matches the same entropy measures as a malware, there is a high likelihood that a malware is present. If a suspicious file, if we are checking that file, if it nearly matches the same entropy measures, there is a high likelihood that a malware is present. This is what we have studied today. The document-driven certification and accreditation, policy-driven security certification, and the reputational, behavioral, and entropy-based malware detection.